Previously on Knight's Quest. Puts one of the telepellets in that note, and it disappears. I am now Friendmaker.
Beepus, you will not disrespect him.
I challenge Friendmaker to a duel of rats.
We are gathered here today under this digital roof to celebrate Knight's Quest. And to do that, I'm going to take a reading from Knight's Quest Season 1.
Okay.
Shit. Moving stuff. Now, I'd like to pass the, whatever this is, over to our three hosts to lead us in today's... Worship is a weird word, so we're not going to use it. Well, let's just call it today's episode of Knight's Quest.
There it is.
There it is.
I am so... I've gone through so many emotions in that cold open.
Love the energy that is a part of this audio transcript right now. Yeah.
I was like really like, okay, we're doing like a funeral bit, and then he's like, he's gonna read, so he like prepared something. I'm really excited to read the random. Nope, he didn't. Okay.
People definitely said shit in Season 1.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we did know, you're not wrong.
I didn't do this, but I wish I had. I really wish I had started just like softly singing in the background, like a very.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh shit! Yeah.
The word of the doofuses.
Yeah.
The word of the doofuses. Thanks be to Knight's Quest.
Yes.
Welcome to Knight's Quest, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Our Father who art in heaven, Baha be thy blast.
Don't bring your Taco Bell
and also
religion.
you.
And also Mountain Dew.
And also with Dew, yes.
And also with Dew.
God damn it. No.
Anyway, we do this show thing.
Yeah.
We do this podcast thing. Today we have combat.
It's time to duel.
Okay, good. We got that out of the way. We got that. Okay, check. You said
Jamie,
it.
if you do not find that soundbite and insert it just before the duel begins, if I don't hear Yami Yugi say, "It's time to duel," I'm going to be very upset.
Yo move. Yo move. Get on with the duel.
Yeah.
Play a good card.
Hey, what's the name of that YouTube video, Jake?
Yugi no.
Yugi no. Everyone go watch that YouTube video.
It's
if
very
you
good.
stumble across a crappily animated but also beautifully animated video, you found the right one.
I summon my enraged battle ox and $5 to summon Blue Eyes White Dragon.
I hope he doesn't realize that's just my expired driver's license. Okay. Anyway. We're going to be dueling today.
I was going to say, if that's not an indicator of how this duel is going to go, I don't know what is.
If one of the combatants somehow loses $5 in this fight, I'm going to consider it a success. Yeah.
Perfect.
First of all, they need to acquire dollars.
Yeah, yes, and?
Sure.
They find 5 American U.S. dollars.
Okay, I see what you're saying, yeah. That'd be quite a twist.
Look at this strange silver paper. Why is it green?
This green silver paper.
This green silver paper.
That's how that works.
Oh, wow. Here's a fun game you can play at home. How much of this intro has been deleted before you hear it?
You can safely bet at least some.
No.
At least some.
A number between 0 and yes. Yeah.
Between 0 and yes. When we last left off, it was in a very tense, emotional family moment.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to not pick up directly from there.
Right.
Instead, we're going to skip forward a little bit. The dinner has ended. It continued with without much really going on. The duel was declared by Quis Slayer, and everyone just kind of like finished eating. It wasn't in silence, but it definitely wasn't as like cheerful and fun as before.
No more stories were being told.
Yeah, there's no more. Story dinner was kind of done.
Yeah, when something awkward happens at any kind of family reunion or family gathering, there's just like a moment, and then after that, you just kind of have to go about with your day, even though the vibe is really off now, you know?
Right.
So we gotta finish the meal. Yeah. Good food.
Everyone goes about their business and goes to bed, I guess.
Yeah. So after the dinner, our gang heads to the little guest house that they have. I think Grorg, he's gonna stay with them tonight. Yeah, because I think his room might have gotten... Well, we'll figure that out. We'll see what's happened to his old room.
Right.
We'll deal with that tomorrow. But he's going to stay with them.
Yeah, because we described this as one of those houses where, like, more and more sections just kept getting added on, right?
Yep.
So, like, it's possible he had a wing of this little building that was not used anymore after he left, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I'm just curious. Like, why is Grorg not sleeping in his own room?
I guess it didn't come up. We didn't ask. And so I guess he doesn't know if he still has his room available. Or if they, like... are using it for something else.
And it seems weird to, like, go ask that question now after all of the fucking gauntlet stuff has been thrown down. Yeah.
Dad, can I go back in my room, please? Oh, I'm fighting to see if I get to keep it. Oh, okay.
I left all my American money there.
I left my $5 US.
$5 US.
Those are the real stakes of this duel, is that it's going to determine if he gets to keep his room.
No.
So they all go back to the room. Does anyone say anything before they go to bed? Otherwise, we'll just skip to it's the next day.
Yeah. Trouble reaches up very, very far to clap him on the shoulder, like Grorg did when they were having their conversation about Trouble's name. He says, as far as, like, fighting to prove yourself and get people's respect, like... I got you. I get that. 100%. Same wavelength. Like, you got this, man. As far as, like, tricky family relationships, I couldn't have less of a clue what the hell anyone is talking about. So you're on your own there. Yeah. And then he just goes to bed. It's not a helpful pep talk at all.
I think Grorg's just, like, kind of, like, he's, like, nodding a little bit, but you can tell he's very in his head right now.
Oh,
and just kind of, like, thinking. Anyone else? Otherwise, we'll do morning.
No.
Okay, you're all up to sleep well. Right, it's nice to actually have like a bed compared to what you guys, where you've been sleeping the past couple nights. Especially, I think it was the night before. It was raining really hard. So it's nice. It's still pretty warm, but the evening cools off, and I still picture again there's like an open wall to the gardens. You can like see the large courtyard. And a couple flutterflyers. In the night, and the cacophony in the evening. So the next day arises, and I think people are still being very welcoming to you guys as the guests. I'm sure Trust Hand is continuing to be helpful.
I think she arrives at the guest house to be like, oh, I'll remind you of like where things are and stuff. And I imagine at first we're like, oh, we remember where everything is, but like quite a few of us absolutely don't, right? So she does end up having to be the guide again to where the main rooms are and stuff like that.
Here's the shower thing we talked about.
Because we had just been traveling forever. We were tired. Like, we don't remember everything, yeah.
It's a whole new world.
True.
Thank you.
I think Grorg, he spends his day, though. He wakes up early for his run.
Got to.
As usual.
Yep. That's got to be like every... Can you imagine the noise? Like, have we established, is that just a Grorg thing, or is that a Grorg's family thing?
Oh, that's such a good question.
Like, if every single orc in this, like, home ship gets up at the crack of dawn and starts thundering around.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with... The funnier answer is everyone does it.
Right.
The world-building answer is no, so it's time for me to roll my yes-no dice. Let's see. That's a double yes.
Ooh,
wow.
Boy.
Yeah, no, that's a thing.
Okay.
They all start their day with a morning run. And so there's like a track around, like not a track, but like a worn path that people take for their morning run that they do around.
It didn't start out as a track, but it is now.
Exactly. Yep. And so it's one of those things. Maybe like I'll just say like Grorg's running, and like he sees his dad also running, and he like starts getting a little competitive. And they almost like start racing a little bit during this run.
This supposedly therapeutic morning run.
Yep.
Turns out to only add to the stress.
So I'm just going to say the entire day, Grorg is preparing for this duel. You see, there's obviously like a little training complex within the compound. Some little test dummies, and he's just practicing punching, his juking. And so that's what he's going to be doing today. Well, how about other people? What do they do before the duel, which will happen tonight?
Jonathan's going to go talk to Grorg real quick before the duel.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Again, Grorg, he's focused. You can tell he's not trying to like overexert himself, right? He's not stupid, but he is warming up quite a bit.
Yeah, Jonathan like pops his head in and like awkwardly like knocks on the closest thing he can find, just like, hey, real quick, buddy, I can tell you're busy. Can I borrow the symbols?
What do you need the symbols for?
Well, are you going to use them in the duel, or is it like a...
Grorg he stops punching, and he kind of takes I think he has like a drink, and he just drinks some of the water. You can tell he's sweating pretty bad. Oh, no, I wasn't going to use them in the fight. They probably would have slowed me down, so I guess, yeah, if you want to hold on to them, that's probably safer.
Cool. Yeah. No, I just figured we did like a bet thing with Trouble's fight, so I figured we could do something with this one. So yeah, I'll let you know what we got going on.
Wait. Tell me.
What's that?
Oh, what do you mean, like a bet thing? What does that have to do with the symbols?
I don't know yet. I figured I could use them somehow. Like maybe I'm still working this out. Do you have any ideas?
Hold on. What do you mean you're? I think Grog's kind of like getting a little closer. He's like, well, hold on. What do you mean you're like working this out? Like I don't know what you mean by what is there to work out? Like you're just, I'm fighting. There's a duel.
Oh, absolutely. It's great entertainment. There's going to be a lot of people watching, and
oh boy.
I think Grorg kind of catches on. He's like, hold on. Are you trying to make money off of this?
I'm a businessman, Grorg. That's what I do.
I think Grorg, you can tell, like he's been frustrated all day, and he's like, Jonathan.
Yep.
Try to be in my shoes for 1 second here.
You have very big shoes.
Yeah, they're big. Exactly, they're big shoes to fill. All right, I'm in this moment having to live up to my entire family's expectations of who I'm supposed to be. My dad, this great warrior, and now I have let him down in multiple ways, and I gotta like prove myself to him, to this family heritage of mine. Also, my family tension up. I don't know if you could feel it last night, but things aren't going great with me and my family. So if you could try to relate to that, I'd appreciate that a lot. Instead of trying to like make money off of this.
Jonathan slams the symbols back down in the pouch and shuts it. And he looks at Grorg and he says, "You know what, Grorg? You're right. I should be more sympathetic. I should relate more and be more emotionally and just aware of all of this that's going on. You're right. I should do that for you, because I couldn't possibly. You're the only one that has any sort of family to live up to. You're the only one that has dad issues. You're the only one that has complicated family issues. So you're right. I should feel bad for you about that and your very individual and unique issue that you have. So I'm gonna go think about that. So thank you for drawing my attention to that. I'm gonna go think about that. Thank you, Grorg." And he storms out.
I think Grorg, he kind of wanted to fight a little more, but he then just turns back to the training dummy.
Use it, Grorg. Use it.
Yeah. Use it, Grorg. Use it, Grorg. Comedy episode. I think back with everybody else, there's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like Leroy. Oh, Leroy.
Yeah.
I'll do Leroy.
Oh my goodness.
Leroy is just having a great time.
Wow, this is a beautiful house.
Maybe he's talking to Trust Hand. It's like, wow, you guys got a great You guys got a great place. You must feel so lucky to live here.
Oh, yeah, certainly. We, I mean, it's a work of, it's quite literally a labor of love. Those of us who've decided to stay here, we continue to build and, make each part of our home our home. And it really, in a way, I think that it reflects who each of us is. It's, but we're also fortunate. We're also extremely lucky to have each other. We're lucky to have this village, and that has allowed us to thrive, really.
I think it's at this point that Bayazar, stomach filler, walks up. He gives his wife a little kiss on the forehead.
She playfully hits his elbow as he walks past. Yeah,
and he says, he says to her in Orcish.
Yes.
Sorry. It was just really funny to hear that sound and see Jake's face.
Quest hand. My dear. Do you know which of these new folks was Greloy? Or Leroy?
Yes. Bayazar, I would like to introduce you to... And she looks over at Leroy and kind of raises her eyebrows and goes, I mean, you can really take your pick, I suppose. Both options are... It's up to you.
Hell.
Oh.
Hello. He turns to her and says in Orcish, it was hello. I remember that from yesterday.
Oh, absolutely.
Hello. Yes. Greloy.
Sure. Yeah, that's me.
I meant for her to be saying to Leroy, he could have whichever name he wanted, but I like him taking it that way better. So this is actually great.
Item lost?
What?
And he holds up a burlap sack. Item unlost. And he goes, and he sees that there's a note tied to it that says Leroy on it.
Interesting.
Is that for me?
You. And Leroy takes the bag and he opens it and he shows it to them, and inside it's full of grain.
Ooh. Oh shoot. Okay. Yeah.
I think Quis is just kind of wandering, as is his wont. He was hoping to find stomach filler in the kitchen, but then he sees Leroy with the bag, and so he walks over and he says, "What's up, buddy? What's going on?"
I got a care package.
Oh, neat. From
my parents.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. They fed you some some clean clothes, maybe your favorite snack.
Yes. What kind of? Let's just say stomach filler.
Yes.
Can I use your oven?
Oh, Trust Hand translates just to make absolutely sure that we have the specific meaning of that question.
I think he was confused, and then he says to her, he's going to let her translate to make it easier. He'll be like, "Oh yeah, are you also a baker?" And he goes,
"Yes, yeah, that's my name."
Damn power move.
And so then they'll go off and do some baking.
Yeah, they can relate over having a last name that is explicitly what you do. Yeah.
Yeah. They have that.
That's a very orcish name now that I think about it, yeah.
Yeah.
And as they're walking away, she's encouraging her husband. She's like, "That was really good. You focused in on the important words and you remembered the right order. That was fantastic." Yeah.
Thanks, Tracy.
There's no joke here. I just want to make it clear that she's extremely happy with how his language skills are coming along.
So supportive. She might be trying to take the throne of best relationship from Tanner and Taylor. I don't know.
I just decided I want this to be a really cute couple.
Quis is definitely just going to follow Leroy because this worked out so well last time.
Okay. I was going to cut the scene there, but I do think we're going to do a move. Leroy's going to do a move.
Oh, excellent.
That I've been waiting to allow him to do. And he has a move. It's called Bake Bread. And it's just
roll to bake
bread using available resources.
Sure.
Uses his cooking stat. And I had been putting off to use that because I didn't have any
resources.
Baking resources. I'm going to say the difficulty is only going to be 2. Because he's got
he's
full...
a fucking baker.
He's got a full kitchen to use.
Yeah.
I'll just add a setback because he's unfamiliar with the Orcish maybe measurement system.
That's fair.
And all that.
Yeah.
They don't use apple sacks here, so it's like,
Oh.
so it really changes everything.
I have a dumb question while you're rolling. When you say he has a bag of grain, should I be picturing like loose, like stuff so small that it's almost a liquid? You know what I mean? Just like a pile of grains, or is this
like a pile of seeds, or are we talking like ground into flour?
Yes, that's a much better way of asking that question. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to say it is loose grain, so he has to make it into flour himself.
Okay.
But that
Gotcha.
way it'll last longer, maybe? I don't know. Don't fact check me on that.
Yeah, I know nothing about bread making, so I don't super know why I brought it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet Lowell knows.
It is a 14 apple sack
Nice.
of grain, so it'll last him a while. And he succeeds. I think there's like a total of like 4 successes, and then everything else canceled out. So
Love that.
Cool.
Love that.
he makes some bread. So Leroy now has some special bread.
Nice. A 14 apple sack is like a 2.5 pots in Orcish.
Oh, they use pots?
Yeah.
I will say the reason I want to do this scene is Quis,
Yeah.
you get to watch this all play out. How attentive is Quis? Is he just like there? He's just like hanging out? Or is he like being reminded of his original Quis quest?
No,
in this
Quis is
moment?
invested.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because he's worked in the kitchen with Leroy before.
Yeah.
Aw,
like
yeah.
Like in JJ's.
this is very familiar in many ways.
Yes. So I'm going to say this. You watch the process of the making of the special bread. And you're not a baker again, so you can't tell the difference between... Actually, you know what? I want a ratiocination roll from Quis.
Okay.
I want to see how much he gleans from this. Let's go difficulty... I'm going to go difficulty 3, but I will
Okay.
give you a boost because of your familiarity with Leroy in the kitchen.
Okay.
You had that one shift together.
Nathan, when you say the original Quis quest, I am struggling to remember what you mean by that. Like,
In season 1, when he wanted to figure out the cows...
yes,
and everything
okay,
with-
yep, the
So
original.
he has an investment in Leroy's weird family.
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good way of drawing those two together. Yeah.
That is a success with a disadvantage.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, spicy. So I will say you're able to glean that this is different from making regular bread. What I'll say is you pick up that stomach filler will also kind of like watch certain parts of like, well, why'd you do it like that? Or like, what are you doing? I am not a baker, so I will not try to make up some dumb...
What?
Some dumb... Okay, maybe
Now, wouldn't
fine.
that make you like expressly uniquely qualified to make up some dumb weird shit?
Okay, fine. Fine, the people have spoken. Here's the dumb weird shit Leroy does.
Yes.
As we
We're
have
gonna
said,
ruin the illusion that all 3 hosts of this show are not master bread makers in real life.
I only watched one episode of the Great British Bake Off.
right.
So I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, Lauren. I'm not smart. Okay, here's what he does. He does grind some of the grain into flour, but some he leaves unground, and he aligns the grain as he makes the bread. So he'll like knead the dough, but then be very intentional that the literal grains are like lined up.
They're in
Like-
patterns.
They're in patterns.
Oh, I
and
love it.
they're like
Okay.
mesmerizing patterns. Like it's actually like very artful as you watch him knead the dough and weave these grains together.
It's definitely a whole grain bread.
Yeah, this is whole grain.
Yeah. Dare I say it? The artistry and presentation even kind of brings to mind his cake making days. Yeah, back in Goldon.
Oh yeah. That was all part of this training, Jamie. That was all part of this training that his family taught
It all
him.
works together. Yeah.
There is, I will say, for Quis specifically, and maybe this ties into the disadvantage, is because this special bread was intentionally designed with Mirjik in mind. There is not as strong as the book. But you can, as he's like baking the bread, I'll say as he bakes the bread, you get like that smell of Mirjik.
Ooh, yeah, that like essence.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That, like,
it's
aura.
not as strong as the book. Like the book would have been like, woo! But you kind of get like an undertone. And I'll just say that's a disadvantage because I'm sure that's just not a pleasant thing for Quis.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's not like a fun thing for you anymore. So how Quis handles the idea of this bread, with his addiction. That's, coming off that. That's up for you to decide. But the process of this bread, you can tell that Leroy has a very high reverence as he makes it. He's not just throwing things together. He's being extremely methodical about it. And he only makes one loaf.
Of course.
Just one loaf. Because that's all he did. Okay. That's the scene with Leroy. Let's end Quis.
I would love for Raynor to talk to Eloise if she is not busy doing something else.
Yep.
You know what? Raynor finds Eloise peeking into where's Grorg training?
So I'm picturing. So we got the large courtyard that has kind of like a pond and a for the Grorg and some space to run around.
Yeah.
On the right side of the courtyard was where we ate dinner. On the left is the house that they've been staying in and the cooking house. And kind of like a little bit farther down, closer to where the running track is, there's a dirt area because it's just kind of been trampled with some racks of weapons because they can be trained in all of them. A couple of dummies, some targets for shooting practice.
One of those wood things that you see in all the kung fu movies for training Wing Chun or whatever.
The ones that have the different spinning bits. Yeah.
He's currently on a spinning bit one. He's working on his dodges right now. His reflexes.
Raynor finds Eloise kind of just spying isn't the right word, but she's watching Grorg with the intention of not being seen.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. He just comes up and he's just like, "Hey, oh my God, I'm so sorry."
No, sorry, Raynor, it's fine. I just, you're very quiet for somebody. So,
oh man, I don't.
Here,
I've been told that before. I'm not trying to be. It's weird.
That's fine. What's up?
Yeah. Do you have a sec? I guess we're all just kind of waiting around for the end of the day. Oh, I hate gossiping about people behind their back. It just feels bad.
Eloise says, yes.
The true Haas has seeped into you both.
Yes.
Oh. Eloise is a true Haas now, so.
Yeah, she's wearing her antlers and everything.
Yeah.
She's made him more of a gossip. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Right. He kind of composes himself. And do you think we are suitably far away that Grorg can't hear us?
Oh, yeah. Even if you could, he's very focused.
Oh, he's focused in. Yeah. He says, so... I've been thinking about one from the angle of we need Grorg to succeed at this because for us to have any chance of stopping Murgic, the whole plan, blah blah blah. We need him to win, right? But from another angle of I'm just worried for him because he's going through a lot right now, and I trust your judgment. You trained with him in the Beacon, and I'm worried. Do you think he's up for it? I'm trying super hard to play Raynor as someone who does not know all of the stuff that Grorg and Eloise talked about last episode.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Eloise says...
Just completely oblivious to that.
Eloise says, Grorg is super talented with pretty much every single weapon. Every time he picks something up, he can just do it. And it's ridiculous. I've never met anyone who's so talented with one thing. It just seems so each weapon is a whole different ballgame with how to use it, and he just picks it up and he uses it so fluently.
Wow.
And then she realizes that Raynor's right there, and she blushes and she says, "But I've never seen Raynor's dad fight, and I have no idea. It could go either way for all I know. But Grog's pretty good, I guess."
Yeah.
Raynor's dad fight?
I've never seen Grog's
We've also
dad.
never seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen Grog's dad fight before, and he killed a Genesby, so I really can't really tell. It could go either way, but Grog's pretty talented, I guess.
Yeah. Huh. I think Raynor doesn't even pick up on that. I think he's just
that's very Raynor.
Yeah. He's just I haven't. Come to think of it, I don't think I've actually seen him use weapons. He mostly prefers punching, right? As far as I know.
Oh, a tangent. Is he wearing the brass knuckle?
As he's been training, he is swapping between using his brass knuckles and between using his Sandrake glove.
Yeah.
So he'll train without him, train with him. He's been kind of going between them all.
Eloise looks back at Grorg while he's training, and she says, I mean, it's not like he needs to use weapons. I mean, have you seen his shoulders? They're massive. And his arms. I just... No, I don't. I think he'll be fine. But just in case, I'm just gonna make sure that he doesn't need anything between now and then.
Yeah, Raynor takes that 100% at face value. Like, yeah, no, that's a good idea to keep an eye on things. Just make sure, make sure nothing goes wrong.
And Eloise counts her blessings that she's talking to Raynor and nobody else.
Right. Oh man, the only character who wouldn't blow this secret wide open. Yeah.
Oh man.
I think the only other question he's pondering is I just keep wondering if I should be trying to do something once the fight rolls around, like how Katrina and some of the others helped Trouble during his fight, but it sounds kind of crazy, and it sounds like it has the potential for things to go horribly wrong, and maybe I should totally stay out of it. But I keep thinking that, I mean, I have music, I could at least try to play something, and if people call me out on it, it's like, oh no, this is just battle music, I don't know.
Eloise turns very quickly and grabs Raynor by the shoulders, hard, and looks at him very intense and says, Raynor, I know Grorg is going to win, but
okay,
on the very slim chance that it looks like maybe he's having some trouble, I'm not going to sit idly by. And she widens her eyes and looks at him and goes, right?
Right. Cool.
And then she turns back to watching Grorg.
Raynor has lied. He is not following what she meant by that. But it was really intense, and he was a little intimidated. I think that's a fair place for Raynor to be like, okay, and turn around and go back to the house.
Bye, Raynor.
See ya.
Evening rolls around. Dinner is made for everyone, but it's obviously not story dinner, so people kind of come and go for this kind of meal. Stomach filler just prepares something, and people
there's definitely two tables. There's one table that's got just regular food to eat for everybody who's watching, and there's another table that's got very specific foods on it, lots of proteins and
Ooh, okay.
Different kinds of drinks, I assume hydrating type drinks.
Right.
But there's
no one's sitting at it because neither Grorg nor Quis Slayer is going to be sitting at that table with each other. I think they both walk up, they get their food, and they pile their plate higher than the other one, and walk back.
I love how much of this has to be a competition. Yeah.
And so you guys start walking towards the temple, right? The only stone building that was in Garka. And it's evening now. It's dark, so everyone's got some torches as they're walking with. Though there are a couple street lamps. It's just more ceremonial.
Can we get a visual on that temple one more time? I remember you saying it was star-shaped.
Yep, so it is picture a step pyramid.
Right.
Like an Inca, Mayan, that kind of step pyramid.
Yep.
With 5 layers, but it's got 5 points as well, like a star. And so you guys are going to walk up kind of in the crevice between 2 of the points is where there's some actual stairs you can get up.
Gotcha,
And as you're walking towards this temple, you don't see Grorg at the moment, or Quis Slayer. You're just kind of going with the rest of the family. You're with Tree Knower, with Grilta, as you walk there, and she's like, oh man, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a good duel. Are you guys excited? Are you guys ready?
I've decided that Trouble is genuinely stoked about this fight. He has not paid attention to any of the drama or any of the negative emotions going on. He's just yeah, right? Yes, I'm glad you feel the same way. Yeah,
Trouble, you've been in a duel, so you get it. You know.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, yours was a little different. Yours was a duel of sport, and this is a duel of rights, so it's a little different. But it's same gist.
Duel of rights. I mean, go for it. Explain. Yeah, I'm all ears.
Oh,
I get it because he has really big ears.
He does have big ears. Yeah.
even as a human.
Yes.
Right, I keep forgetting. Sorry, guys. I just know so many things about trees and my own
Subtle
culture.
brag.
But since we're one, my
Sometimes
knowledge is
people
yours.
call me the everything knower.
Damn.
You know, it's just kind of how it is.
Instead of just trees.
But my knowledge is yours. So I guess, yeah, a duel of rights kind of happens whenever there's like a dispute over like who, owns something like land or property or inheritance. So then two people fight it out. Whoever wins gets said thing. What's important about duel of rights is there's no lethal blows and no passion blows. So gotta be careful about that one. That one's pretty tough. And you need to have a combatorium in order to do it. This is where we're going right now.
That's the coolest shit I've ever heard.
Combatorium?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You gotta... I mean, that's where you fought in a combatorium.
I was in a combatorium?
Oh, yeah. It's just any, like, officially designated, like, fighting space.
I'm gonna change my name to Trouble Combatorium.
No, that's... you fought in one. You're not a... But maybe there's a fight within you. That could be a crazy name. So yeah, the top of this temple's looks like it's a combatorium. So we'll go there, and then there needs to be an unbiased third party, kind of witnessing as the judge. I heard that's gonna be Life Cleaver, so she'll be kind of officiating. Otherwise, we just get to sit back, watch, and hope for the best.
If the whole group is there, I think Raynor
Jonathan's not.
kind of comes in, kind of butts in, like, what is a blow of passion? Like, what determines what's not allowed?
Yeah. So it's pretty tough. That's what the judge gets to say. Basically, it's like whenever you attack, but you're letting your emotion control it. So like you intended to kill them with your attack. It's not about that, right? This is just a good old fashioned beat the other person. We're not trying to accidentally kill anybody here, all right? So there's strict rules about not doing that. It's all about just trying to go for, being civil. Now, there are some duels that allow passion blows, and those ones, wow.
Right. So that's definitely not going to happen, right? And Raynor's, like, very visibly worried. Oh, boy.
Let me see. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I remember.
Definitely is such a strong word.
Yeah, passion blow. Okay, this is an attack that is not motivated by strategy, but by the heat of the moment of fury, rage, depression, or passion. And they might have. There may. We'll have to see.
Oh boy!
But if anyone does any of that, they're out. So they lose.
Wow. Yeah.
So let's hope our God can keep it together.
Yeah, Raynor, we'll just have to see. You gotta get, like, the dueling spirit. Yeah. Don't worry about it so much.
Eloise and Quis are both very quiet for completely different reasons.
Oh.
Quis is just kind of like... He is going back and forth between checking on Banus in the bag and...
Well, he's not in the bag.
Oh, that's right. We let him go. He's going back and forth between checking Christopher to make sure that the book is still there and watching Leroy very intently. And Eloise is just kind of not paying attention to anything, just eyes up to the top of the temple as they go.
I don't have anything fascinating or interesting for PB to do right now. I just like the image of him flying above everyone else and kind of going around the temple and just being up there in the night sky and, like, occasionally, like, making a few pings of sound, as is his wont.
Yeah, I'll make sure everyone else gets represented. Abil, he's excited, but also nervous, because he's like, I understand the stakes of what's going on. This is a pretty big deal, but I will admit it is, I'm getting into it. I'm getting into what's going on, and I'm doing that intentionally, so I am distracted.
Oh, man, that's so sad.
From my own life.
Yeah, there it is.
Bread and circus, as they say in Thrive.
Did someone say bread?
Yes.
Yes, there it is.
I did. You are correct.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna be cheering for my good friend Grorg. That's what I'm gonna be doing today. Just cheering. I've had a good day.
So yeah, we get to the top of the temple. And again, the center... So again, the top is a star shape, but there is a pentagon shape in the middle. That's kind of the outlines for the combatorium. You can see it. There's not like wrestling bars or anything, but it has been... There's a barrier that goes around it. There are a couple raised seats that go out, so you guys can kind of sit and be able to watch and see everything. And there is a little pedestal kind of right outside where you see Life Cleaver approach and sit. There are torches at each of the 5 corners of this pentagon. So it illuminates the whole scene so you can see it. Otherwise, it's a stone floor, and you're pretty high up. You are just at about canopy level, so you guys can kind of see out the jungle and the mountains to the west, and so you're just high enough where you can look out and see how vast this jungle is that you are in, and how the city of Garka, the village of Garka, really is just like nestled right underneath the trees. You could barely tell it's there.
Excellent.
As you watch, but otherwise, no view of the fighters yet.
Eloise asks Grelta,
Yeah, what's up?
can you teach me the sign of the 5?
Oh, like just like the sign we make?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's easy. So you start, you just point to like 5 spots. So it's, you point to your left shoulder, then you point to the right side of your head, left side of your head, right shoulder, top of your head. So you make a little star. Ba, 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 ba.
Gotcha.
Hey, Macarena. I can't.
boy.
I'm not as creative as you, Nathan. All I have is sarcasm. I'm sorry. All I can do is tear others down.
Yeah, so Eloise does that, and she turns back to Grelta and says, "Does that do anything, or is it just for you, or?"
You know, it's kind of one of those things. You just kind of do it to like focus in on the 5. Some think it like gets them their blessings. Some think it's just kind of like a thing we do. It's kind of like reminding ourselves of like who we're representing. Depends on who you ask. For me, it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's just like a habit. You just do it. Well, I don't do it a lot. I spent a lot more time in the jungle than in temple.
Instagram?
So, yeah, Instagram. Yeah, thank you.
Instagram.
I think Eloise looks a little crestfallen, but she says, "Okay, well, thanks, Grelta," and she sits down.
But you could do it if it makes you feel better.
Quis is going to make sure he's sitting like right next to Leroy.
Yeah, he is. Leroy's just like having a great time. He's got Chubb, next to him. He's kind of like scratching Chubb's head under his chin.
Oh, hey, Chris, how's it going? You ready for this?
Oh, yeah, mm-hmm.
This will be fine. Hope Grorg wins. Love that guy.
Oh, absolutely. Wait, what's going on?
Grorg's gonna fight his dad.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's... Wait, what do you mean, what? Like...
Quis, no.
What are you... are you confused?
That's where that's happening right now?
Yeah, we're doing that right now.
Oh, geez. Oh, okay. Well, that's, ooh.
Wait, did you not realize that...
Is it over already, or has it...
What?
What did you say?
Did you not know this was happening? Like, why did you walk here?
That is a great question. One to which
I think Abil is sitting behind them and he's like, "Did you forget?"
No, I didn't forget.
It's kind of like the only thing we have going on today.
Yeah.
That and I think we should probably, like, once this is all done, like, talk to Grog's dad about seeing if he'll help us talk to, like, the combat spirit or something. Or maybe they summon him. Maybe this is a summoning thing. I don't actually know.
What did Abil just say?
I just thought of that, like, literally right now.
What?
Well, I was like, the guy, the heinous guy is, like, the spirit of combat, so they're doing a combat. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Is that a thing? Can you do that?
You guys have picked up on something that I have not. I'm not following.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Well,
I will be considering future Triumph rolls in a new way.
Interesting.
This is interesting.
Quis, you know what? Hulk.
Oh yes, little Hulk
is sitting behind Quis, and repeatedly passing things in the space between his hat and his smaller upper hat.
Yeah, the whole squad's there. Parnt is there. Wheel Spinner's there.
God. Okay.
Salad Fingers is there.
God damn it, Randall.
I think probably the direct family is probably sitting in a specific spot.
Yeah, I think you see, for sure you see Farkiller and Broadchest and Heartstabber and his other siblings are all kind of like front row on like one of the 5 edges.
Yeah.
And other extended families kind of on other spots. Okay, I think we've dallied long enough. Life Cleaver stands on top of the podium. Whatever she's about to say, she isn't using an amplifier ring at all. Her voice is just, it carries. It's part of the acoustics of the temple, but also, this is Life Cleaver. People give her respect.
Yeah, she stands and she holds her cane up and like motions that she's about to say some dope shit. And she says, "We gather at the peak of the Temple to the Five to witness a duel of rights. Heinous Slayer, and Duchas Friendmaker. Stand in the light of the 5 and choose your weapon."
It's at this point that Friendmaker and Heinous Slayer both enter up from 2 neighboring aisles, but not the same one. Heinous Slayer is still donning his black cloak that you first saw him in, with a slight sheen. Even in this near dark environment, it still has a slight reflectiveness to it. Otherwise, he is just wearing that cloak along with some combat shorts. Otherwise, he's bare-chested as he walks up. And he walks to... There's a rack of weapons available, and he stands up next to it. Meanwhile, Friendmaker also walks up, and he is wearing something that you guys haven't seen him wear very much. He must have picked it from the house, but he seems to be wearing some kind of leathered armor. Maybe training or combat armor. Again, it's not like a heavy metal suit. Right, that's why I use leather armor. It's more of a mobile thing, but it's more armor than you've ever seen him wearing. But it fits him. It fits him well, and it looks good. It's a dark brown, which complements his green skin quite well, and it's got streaks of like some deeper blue stripes. So maybe it's from a Duchas. And they both go up to the rack. And Friendmaker stands and he raises his fist, which he puts the Sandrake glove on and the brass knuckles, and he says,
"Hell yeah.
I have donned my weapons." Heinous Slayer chuckles a little bit as he walks over to the rack, and he kind of taps his chin a little bit as he looks. He goes, and there's all kinds. You got some pikes, you got long swords, broadswords. They have his like trebuchet crossbow that we talked about.
Yes.
It's up there, and he's like, shoot. Unnecessary.
Well, it's an interesting question. If the rules are that you can't cause a fatal blow, wouldn't I feel like that might take a lot of these off the table, right? So he might only have a couple that he could really choose in the first place.
Yeah, that's a great point. So I think then, Jake, if you have an idea for like cool weapons, I didn't lock one in for this.
He could do like a club or a cudgel or something, or he could do like tonfa.
What's tonfa?
What is that?
What is tonfa?
Are awesome. Hold on, I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah.
These are tonfa.
What?
Oh, like the wooden sticks with handles on them.
Yeah, you hold it and you can spin them out so the long end is out, or spin them back so the short end is out, so they can be used for defense. If you have them against your forearms, you can block with them. That. Or you can swing them and kind of poke with them as well. There's a whole martial arts style around these.
That's fascinating. Yeah.
It's also where like the nightstick came from. And these are super cool.
Listeners, it's spelled how it sounds, Tonfa. Definitely check it out. We're just looking at pictures.
So tonfa could be one.
Let's do that. I like that. Done.
Cool.
Let's just do tonfa. Okay, so
there's also a subsection under tonfa labeled gun, which I'm very excited about. But I'll do some research on that later.
We won't do that one. So, Heinous Slayer. Just pick picks a
He's
gun.
thinking hard about his weapons, and he just pulls out a
Just
Glock.
picks up a fucking Glock.
A 9mm, points it at his son's forehead, and says, "Got him.
This is not a
You've
blow
been
of
got."
passion.
Soil is my power.
No, not the Magun.
The Magun has thawed.
Oh no.
So Chain Slayer walks over to the weapons, and then he finally picks up two wooden batons that have handles. And we realize they're called Tanfa. Look them up. Not where you're driving though. Bus is okay. And he grabs two of them, one for each hand, and he raises them up and he says, "I have donned my weapons."
Life Cleaver nods, and she speaks to the two combatants instead of the audience and says, she says it more to Chain Slayer than she does to a friend maker. She says, "Remember, though your choices be your own, your weapons and proficiencies have been chosen in the light of the five." She readdresses the crowd, and she says, "A command was spoken, and that command was a duel. This command has been authorized by the tenters of tradition. In the name of Janus Pentus, the heart of Anima, the Crystal Court, and the Queen of Rillian, this command must be obeyed, and we must witness." And she sits down like crisscross, and everyone's like super quiet. And she lowers her, because the podium she's on is like right next to the platform, right? Life Cleaver takes her sword, her bitchin' sword, and she lowers the tip and twangs it once on the stone pentagon. And Chain Slayer and Friendmaker take their positions. And Broadchest and Pointy Stick take away all of the weapons and everything else that's around the pentagon. And she raises the flat of the blade one more time and clangs it super loud on the stone floor to begin the duel.
Nice. Grorg can hear someone from the crowd yell, "Kick his ass!" And then they hear like, "Ow!"
Yeah, and Eloise does like a woo, and realizes like nobody else was doing it. And,
Yeah.
All right, the duel has officially begun. This is our first fight with the new combat system.
Yes.
So here's how this is going to work. We're going to divide this into 4 points in the order.
Only 4? Not 5?
Who's the 5th one?
Just because 5 is important.
5 is like the number, so.
No. I see your point, yes. We've been in the system too well. Both Beepus and Grorg are going to get their own turn. And then...
we can talk about them casually because we're friends with them. We know them.
We're behind the scenes now. We're behind the scenes now. The formality is faded. And then Jamie, your characters will get a collective turn.
Sure.
And Jake, your characters will get a collective turn. Pick one character to figure out their order.
Rainer.
Okay, so look at their character sheet.
Yep.
You're gonna look at your character sheet. Jake, you do the same thing.
Okay.
Pick a character to determine your order. And your speed should already be written down. Right? Your readiness, both of you, is going to be a 2 because neither of you are fighting, so you're not like in that far of a moment, and you don't have any special order because that comes from moves that we don't have.
So the total would be 4. Oh, sorry, for my character because the speed was 2.
Yep, wonderful. Jake, what is your?
Let's do Quis.
Okay.
Quis has a speed of 2.
So you also have 4 then.
Yes.
Okay. So
Cool.
you guys share the same slot, which is fine.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's how this works. So then when you share a slot, you guys can decide who will go in each turn. So it doesn't have to be, it has to be Jake first or it has to be Jamie first.
Okay.
You guys
Right.
Flesh it up.
And we might not even have our characters do stuff every turn.
That's correct. Yep. And I'm going to have a friend maker is a 6 and Chain Slayer is a 7.
Hell yeah.
He has
All
one in
right.
fancy feet. So that bumps him up a little bit.
Nice.
So
Sure.
that means Chain Slayer will start the combat.
Excellent.
And I think it starts off with a little bit of that pacing, right? They're both kind of walk around, kind of getting a vibe. No one wants to make the first strike right away, as everyone is watching them circle each other,
Right, they're sizing each other up.
which is pretty big. They're both pretty big.
Both pretty big.
Both pretty big. And I want to have some lines of dialogue, but to talk to myself, so I don't want to do that too much because I'll be dry.
But I do think it needs to happen.
It does need to happen. And so I think Heinous Slayer says, "Well now, friend maker, you're in a tough situation here. I'm going to be making friends while you're fighting them. Right, Dad? We don't need to be making fun of my name now, right? Let's have a good clean fight here." "Oh, we're going to be having ourselves a good clean fight, son. Don't you worry about that." And he's going to use his first... nor should I save his special move? He's going to do a normal attack.
Yeah.
We'll just do a normal attack. Grorg's resistance has been moved up because of his nicer armor.
Nice.
So he's got a nice armor. So resistance of 3, that'll help him from dying. So...
Immediately.
Great.
Yeah, right away, yeah.
Very much a positive.
You'll love to see it.
Success and advantage.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Heinous Slayer comes in and he's got his, what are they called? Tonfa?
Tonfa?
But he's a huge guy, right? So they're probably like really big chunks of wood. Like,
Yeah.
these are not
they're probably just
weapons.
like
Yeah.
logs, yeah.
Right,
He
right.
comes in and he just gives, he walks in with the Tonfa in defensive position and just does a quick whoop-ah, and just comes around and spins one around and whacks one on Grorg's shoulder. And so Grorg is going to take a 1-point vitality on his shoulder.
That's a hit.
Probable hit.
That's the first hit. And the one advantage is going to be, I'll let him, that he's able to, like, get out. He's able to back out, so he's not, like, within close combat for Grorg's attack. And so then I'm going to have Friendmaker go, and then you guys will go next. And I think we're just going to do a good old-fashioned, he's going to do another punch. Grorg's just going to do a plain punch, and we'll get the pretty stuff out in a second. Heinous Slayer has a resistance of 2 and 1 setback die because of his armor.
Because it's his dad.
Grorg also success and advantage. He goes back in, and he just punches his dad in the same spot. Just punches his dad in the shoulder.
Right hook. Yeah.
Just gives him a good right hook. Just bop. Just kind of, and he backs up and he's like, "Yeah, I can do that too."
I'm skilled at punches.
Sick comeback, Grorg.
Got him. Jake and Jamie.
He's got a lot on his mind.
Oh, and then, Grorg will also back up, is what he'll do. Just mimicking his father.
Nah, Raynor's not going to try to do anything to step in right now. He's definitely... 1, he's nervous, but 2, he's watching to see how the beginning of this fight plays out. Trouble has... I think he's somehow procured snacks. I don't know where he got them, but he's like munching on something. And he's like, this is great. Is this what watching fights is like? This is awesome. Oh my god, you guys must have been having so much fun during my thing.
Yeah, I will say this. He got snacks from Salad Fingers.
Shut up. God damn it. Oh, no. That tracks, because Trouble was, like, having a great attitude the whole time you were there. He's the one person who was like, this is fine. Yeah.
Yep.
Hate that. Quis is going to use one of his moves.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's do it. Move time.
He is going to... Now, I have to make a clarification, because he had a spell that was like intimidation, like make something more intimidating. Does that have to be used on himself?
I'm gonna go, because that was the Red Ring of Death, right?
The Red Ring of Death.
I'm gonna go with, we never said it had to be him, but he's also never done it as someone who's not him, so if you attempt to make it someone else, I will make it more difficult.
Difficult
for
roll.
that reason.
Okay, he's gonna try and use it on Grorg.
Okay. I think, you know what? Let's go with difficulty 3 and a setback because you're not, like, right next to him.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
I think it'd be easier if you were, like, touching him, you know?
Well, lucky for me, I have a proficiency in magic.
I cannot wait to see what happens if this has advantages. I cannot wait to see what happens if this has disadvantages. Nathan, do you get the vibe that Grorg's relatives are watching mostly in silence, or are they whooping it up like a sports match?
I don't know if they're whooping it up, but, like, when each blow is hit, they kind of go, they react. They go,
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're like, ooh. They're not like, yeah, like, no, like, you can tell the family's kind of, like, torn, like, who do we cheer for, other than, his wife and his brother, who were in opposition, but they are engaged.
I get that. So the mood is not, like, raucous and okay, for sure.
That is a success with 2 advantages.
Okay.
Okay, so tell me, what does it look for you to cast this? I will give you one of the advantages. I think should be people don't notice it was Quis casting a spell.
Yeah.
I think you should make that one of them. Yeah.
Ooh.
So one new thing is that Quis's hat reacts when he does magic.
Oh, fun!
Love it.
So his like little floaty hat spins around when he does magic, rotates faster.
So maybe like only Hulk notices, but no one else notices.
Right. I don't know if there's a specific finger that the red ring of death is on, so we're just going to say he extends his hand forward towards Grorg, and like a thin, like wispy black, almost smoke, just kind of trails from the red ring of death and starts to form this kind of aura around Grorg. And so, like, the smoke doesn't really appear transitioning from the ring to Grorg. He starts to kind of loom over Quis Slayer a little bit more. He stands up a bit taller. His tusks seem to be more pointy, more mean looking.
Yeah, more bestial maybe.
Right, yeah, he's got a fire in his eyes.
Oh, you don't know what you've just described, but I will say this. You described this image of what Grorg looks like now, and obviously it worked, right? The spell will work, and this I'll take the second advantage, and it's that I think Quis Slayer kind of looks up that, and there is a moment where you kind of see his eyes get wide, and he like takes a step back, and like he even like kind of like not like clutches his heart, but like brings his arms in like tighter when he sees that. I'm gonna say that maybe you don't hear this, but he does whisper. He goes, "Highness."
Oh shit! I was kind of hoping for that. Oh, I was sort of hoping that's where you're going with it, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Life Cleaver kind of raises her eyebrows a little bit, but doesn't say anything.
Yeah. He sees that and he says, "Son, I don't know what. You were sharing how you've been dealing with spirits. I don't know which ones you've met before, but I have encountered our Lord Heinous." And he gestures to his cloak. "And he has given me this gift." And I think what he does is he pulls the cloak in a little tighter so it's not like revealing as much, and he flips up. You didn't realize it. There was a hood that came with this cloak that covers over his head. It is now clear to everyone that this was the pelt of an animal.
Oh, okay.
And it shimmers in the dark, and he says, "I don't know what you seem to be manifesting, but let me show you the real power of a Heinous." And I'm going to roll some dice real quick here. Difficulty.
As we are wont to do.
And just
Give him a
see
step
what
back
happens.
for that one. Yeah, that's just a clean success. Oof.
Okay.
Heinous Slayer flips up the hood, brings it in tight, and you see him smile, and then the cloak shimmers, and he disappears.
Oh no.
Oh, shit.
Oh, penis in a bag. Hey there, Questies. It's me, Nathan. Thank you so much for listening to episode 29 of season 3. Again, I gotta give another shout out to you, Jamie. Here's the behind the scenes, everyone. As we were getting ready for this fight, I was like, "Hey, Jamie, I had an idea. What if you had the fighting music sound like this?" And I show him a song that I had been enjoying, and not only did he match that vibe perfectly, he went above and beyond. So, dang it, you're so good at this, Jamie. Anyway, announcements. We're going to go a little out of order today. The next episode is going to be in 2 weeks. That's March 25th, where we'll continue the Duel of Rights. If you are enjoying the show, head on over to kqpodcast.com. We got merch. You can listen to the music from the previous 2 seasons and support us on Patreon. Patrons! In the upcoming week, I'll be posting on our Patreon page, asking you questions about what you want this month's bonus episode to be and next month's stickers. So we'll be having that discussion very soon. If you want to be a part of that, if you want to help have that input, then join us on Patreon. You can go to kqpodcast.com, click that Patreon button. I have got to say thank you to all of our current patrons for your financial support and your just emotional and community relational support that you show us on the Discord and beyond. But we got to give that extra big shout out to our better tier patrons. We got Lauren Grace. We got those dang high elves again. We got Mike, and we got Lowell. Long may he reign. Thank you so much for your support. Please head over to patreon.com/KQPodcast to join their ranks and get some sweet extra content. And of course, if you like the show, tell your friends about it. Word of mouth is the best way for podcasts to grow, and because advertising, that's stupid. No one likes ads. And continue to be amazing. And I hope you're having a beautiful and wonderful day. And may your place in his story be long. This green silver paper.
This green silver paper.
That's how that works.
Why did you just use the mistletoe emoji on Skype?
Friends and audience, sometimes Jake just puts up Skype filters, really for no apparent rhyme or reason. So I've gotten really used to like recording Knight's Quest, and as I'm saying something, a cartoon LeBron James just gently floats across the screen.
LeBron James. I'm never deleting LeBron James, because if I do, he'll go away forever.
As he gently floats towards a basketball hoop with which to dunk. Yeah.
It's a Sisyphean feat, because he never reaches the hoop. He never dunks it. Never dunks it.
But I'm a fucking professional, so I don't comment on it. And I keep the show rolling.
I think that might all be bloopers, y'all. Oh my god.